What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decode. I'm trying to have fun with this, man. Fellow decoders around the world. Yeah, I'm trying to have fun with this scripted reality. Here's another one. Didn't think I was going to go past number 9. Here's number 11. And I got a short but jam-packed, gem-filled presentation for all of you great decoders. Wherever you're at in the world, both male and female, love you all. Thanks for joining in. Sending you tons of love from the Caribbean here in Mexico. Wherever you're at in the world. It's probably warm where you're at unless you're in the Tropic of Capricorn. So sending you a lot of warmth if you're down there freezing your ass off. Well, hey, you choose to live there, so it's all good. I'm just having fun with this reality, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling really froggy. And I just put this presentation together just a few hours ago, seriously, because this is what downloaded into my mind. I was actually studying the double slit experiment again, and I have a decode coming out on this. And this is the promulgation of why I decided to decode. And of course, it's number 11, right? The 1 and the 1, the 2 waves, because the double slit experiment. And I'm like, what am I going to call this? I was going to call it this, quantum serpents. And there's a reason why I was going to call it this. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Scripted reality 11. There's the double serpents right there. Double slit experiment was what got me started on this. And here we are. And so I really started to get into this wave particle duality. And I'm going to break this stuff down in the future, folks. Trust me. Show you the methodology, the esoteric behind it all. And it led me to this guy right here, Erwin Schrödinger, who won the Nobel Prize. He won the Nobel Prize. That's a big freaking deal. So he's got obviously a big script, a big screenplay for his quantum theory. Okay, quantum theory. So it gets super interesting. Quantum mechanics, quantum theory, the double slit experiment. Okay, and it's all dealing with light. It's all about dealing with light. So when you go here and you type in the word photon, you're going to see there's the Christ, because Christ is 36. So the photon is 36, which is the operating system. Okay, it's part of the light is the and it's the devil. This is where you're going to get this word right here. Uh-oh. It's light slowed down into physical matter. All right. This is what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what got me started. This experiment is so fascinating. So fascinating. And quantum mechanics and quantum theory and all that stuff, I'm really engrossed in it. And that's what got me started with this scripted reality. And of course, the 11 is the wave, the 2 waves. That's why I have them here, which is why I was going to call it quantum serpents, because that's what it is. It's the entanglement of the wave particles, et cetera, et cetera. That's how reality is operating through, is the waves into particles, spirit into matter. Okay? We live in a scripted reality through the wave particles. The quantum. And as you noticed in the beginning, the song, because this is how I roll, right? The reason why I chose the song No One Like You by the Scorpions, big shout out to the Scorpions, go support this band, because as I'm doing this decode, I've got my Alexa sitting here to the left of me, and I asked the question, hey, and what song, what band, like what kind of music do I want to listen to? And I said, hey, play some Scorpions. And the song that she threw on, or it threw on, was this song right here, No One Like You. And of course, I'm going to decode that, right? Like I have done so many times. And the length of the song, 3 minutes and 57 seconds. How many total seconds is it using the trusty calculator? Here it is. 60 seconds times 3 is 180 plus the 157, 237. And then you get into this element right here called Neptunium, which is tied to Neptune, of course, running the waters. Remember, you ever throw a rock in the water and you see the ripples, the wave go out there? Yeah, you have. Of course you've done that. And it's this is called psi in Greek, the 23rd letter in the alphabet in Greek and the modern, and then in the archaic it's 25, and then you convert that into the English. And what is the 23rd letter in the English? The letter W, which stands for wave. The wave and the particles. This is the song that maybe Alexis is a Jesuit. Damn it, Alexa, are you a Jesuit? Anyways, I'm having fun, ladies and gentlemen. This is the icon for the Royal Society of Chemistry. The pitchfork. It's a W. Okay, the tied to the big W and tungsten and all that stuff. It's tied to Neptune and Poseidon and all that stuff. Okay, so this is what we're starting with. I'm going to come back to this right here, but that's the reason why I chose that song in the very beginning. So it really kind of starts with this here, right? Where this is what our reality is derived from. The electromagnetic wave. Or wave. You could add on the S there. It's going to add on to the number 3, and it'll be number 76, which is osmium in the Wizard of Oz. But the electromagnetic wave puts you on the television screen. You know, back in the day, a long time ago, when they used to use the old style screens, you would see these lines. Okay, if you were born back in the day, like I was, 70s, you'd sometimes see these lines, the interference patterns, when they were using the old style screens. You're on television, okay? It's because that's exactly what this whole reality is based upon. Being in a movie set, living out a screenplay, and what gets you here, what makes you a human being, is electromagnetism, which is going to be Prison Planet, as I have shown so many times at this point. And this is really what it comes down to, the wave particle, right? And it's 45, which obviously is... The funny part is it's Pandora's box. The television is a box. Your cell phone is a box. Your monitor is a box. You're in it, folks. You're in Pandora's box. Your mind is a box. It's just pretty damn funny. And 45 is tied to rhodium, and this is the rose that gives the bees honey, and you know the rest. You've been paying attention. So many nuggets with this. Fallen angels equals 45. They fall down into matter, from spirit into matter. Maybe this is how we all got here. But I really want to start off with this guy right here, because he deserves a big nod for the scripted Reality 11. I'm going to show you how this gentleman right here, Erwin Schrödinger, did not have a choice in doing what he did. That's right. I'm telling all of you, okay, you don't have a choice in what you're doing. You may have a choice in maybe choosing the food or shoes you buy, but when it comes to the big events in your life, you do not have a choice. I know some of you will not agree with that. Maybe it will only be you out of the 8 billion plus people that doesn't have to go by what I'm saying. Just you, okay? Everybody else, well, they would have to go with this, but not you. So that's okay, because there's going to be exceptions. And there's going to be people that don't agree with me. And this is just my dry humor. I'm just trying to make you laugh, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to bring this, because this is all about, God's a comedian. This is my final answer, and it has been. But anyway, this guy right here, just to show you, he didn't have a choice in the matter. His birthday. He was born on August 12, 1887. And here is his birth card. The 27th card in the deck, which matches the word quantum. See, this guy, he had a big role. He won the frickin' Nobel Prize. That's a big deal. And, you know, if you go to the periodic table and you look at nobelium, which is where it came from, it's the 102 protons that make up nobelium, which means master teacher. And when you go look at this guy, what was he born? He's just missing the 0. The 0 would sit right in the middle. This is how we observe this reality, through the subtle layers that probably most people don't pay attention to. But of course, as fate would have it, the guy's got the 27th card in the deck. Let me just be really transparent. Here's the boilerplate chart for the cards of illumination. Here is the month of August right here. We come down to the 12th, and there's that ace of diamonds. Just so we can be super transparent. It's the 27th card in the deck. There it is, Quantum. So this is what he was known for. The fundamental results in Quantum. Now, of course, it's theoretical, yes, but of course, we live in a screenplay. So this guy didn't have a choice. I'm going to show you that through astrology. Those of you that are fans of astrology, if you're not in tune with astrology, I'm just going to ask you to maybe, try to step it up and learn a little bit about this, because it is a very, very important science in our reality. And here we go. So if you know astrology, well, you're going to feel right at home. I'm going to use Vedic Sidereal to start, and I'm going to follow up with Tropical Western, those of you that are fans of the tropical, because it doesn't matter which system you use, they both will have their say in this scripted reality. That's why there's no reason to argue, debate, say one system's better than the other, yada, yada, yada. It does not matter. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Sidereal Vedic. And let me just narrate this for you. Now, the big takeaway is down here, obviously, with the solar. Now, remember, the sun has a big say in the electromagnetic waves that come down through the wave particles, which, of course, are all about vibrational frequencies. Okay? And the sun, during this guy's birth, on August 12th, 1887. Now, I want to digress and tell you, I did not have his birth time, so the houses may not be accurate, but the zodiac signs will. So I based this on midnight, okay? But he probably wasn't born at midnight, but it will not change the astrological placements and the celestials, okay? Just the houses. So we have the sun right on top, like literally humping Rahu. Okay? Right on top. And Rahu is our ultimate desires along with Pluto, etc., etc. But Rahu can deliver illusions in our lives to kind of get us to go with what it wants, which is our ultimate desires. So sometimes we don't see because we're too busy wanting. And of course, what is illusionary things tied to? The waves. The electromagnetic waves that you can't see. You can't see the waves, but they're present in our reality through different lenses. That's how beautiful this is. And it's in the 9th nakshatra called Ashleisha. This nakshatra is tied to the constellation called Hydra, which is right here. Okay? This is the great website called stellarium-web.org. And there is Hydra right here. And it spans 3 different zodiac signs from Virgo through Leo, and the head is at Cancer. It's a big ass one. I think it's the biggest constellation. It takes up the most space, and it's a snake. Okay? It's a snake. So its head is right at Cancer. So this is where its head would be, right here. Look at all the energy this guy had when he was born in 1887. He's got Mercury the messenger. He's got Saturn, Kronos, and he's got, he doesn't have Mars there, but he's got Mercury and Kronos here, along with the sun and Rahu. The big takeaway, of course, was the sun and Rahu, because the sun is all about light, electromagnetic waves. Rahu is the chasing of illusionary things, which is the electromagnetic wave that we can't see. And Ashleisha, tied to Hydra, is about snakes entwined around a staff. And it's ruled by Mercury, and he has Mercury in the sign of Cancer, not in the 9th nakshatra. But remember, Hydra is completely taking up Cancer, the head of it. Okay, all the way back to Virgo. And the 4th zodiac sign, being Cancer, is going to be tied by default to the 4th tarot card called the Emperor. So the Emperor is a Cancer card, which is obviously going to be tied to your kingdom. That's why Cancer is tied to your home, because it's your kingdom. And Cancer is ruled by the moon. This is why I have the moon up here. So even though the sun and Rahu are down here in Ashleisha, and what is the number 9? This is another big takeaway. We go to the number 9 and we type that into the numerology. It's 16. This is a big one now, right? Because the 16 is tied to this word right here called light. And what is the electromagnetic wave tied to? Light. What is the sun tied to? Light. You see how beautiful this is? It's so beautiful. This is a scripted reality. Irwin didn't have a choice, folks. A beautiful screenplay. I'm not saying his life was Candyland, but he had a beautiful script because he won the Nobel Prize. Probably a pretty good feeling. But again, Cancer is ruled by the moon, the counterpart to the sun, and the moon was up here through Vedic sidereal astrology in the sign of Aries. Remember, I don't know if it was in the 12th house, but it was in the first sign of Aries, and the first card in the tarot is the magician. So this guy, of course, winning the Nobel Prize, he's a high-level magician. His emotions through the moon are tied to being a high-level magician. And his birth card, the 27th card in the deck, which is tied to the word quantum, which is what he won a Nobel Prize in, is tied to the sign of Aries, because if you watched my Astro Alchemy Decoded, I showed each and every one of you where your birth card is going to reside in and what element it will be tied to, and the Ace of Diamonds is going to be tied to the sign of Aries and Cobalt, the 27th element on the periodic table. And Cobalt, when you look at it, just to show you the ridiculousness of how scripted this guy's reality is, here's the picture for the representation of Cobalt. What do you see here? You see one dragon on the left, one dragon on the right. That's the electromagnetic waves, and this is the goblin in the middle. Okay, that's exactly how scripted our reality is, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly how scripted our reality is based on his 27th birth card. And it's going to be in the sign of Aries where his moon was at. And the moon is the ruler of Cancer, where his sun and Rahu is, which is all about illusions, the electromagnetic wave. It's the king on the chessboard, and it's the two serpents intertwined around the staff, and that's going to be ruled by Mercury, and he has his Mercury here. This is a scripted reality off of Irwin. But wait, there's more. So we're going to get into a little bit more of the chart here, and we're going to bring in his name numerology. Now, this is his birth certificate name. I'm going to show you an alteration of that here in just a little bit. His total name numerology on his birth certificate is 144. That's going to be tied, of course, to the crown chakra and the seventh sign, etc., etc. But the 144 is a big number in the aspects of mathematics. It's the 12th square number, it's the square root of 12, and it's the 12th Fibonacci number. How about that? This is how big this guy's life was intertwined with the scripted reality and the screenplay. Didn't have a choice. So because it's tied to the number 12 3 different times, I'm going to look and see where's the 12th house. Well, Pisces is right here. Now, again, I don't know if it's in the 11th house because I'm guessing on his birth time. But what I am certain of is the celestial positions on his chart. And what does he have here? Black Moon Lilith. Not just in any spot, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the 27th nakshatra called Revati. And we just go right back to what he won a Nobel Prize for, quantum, and his birth card being the 27th card in the deck. See how beautiful this is? And I mean, his moon, this is Black Moon Lilith. You go to the moon and it's just right next door in Aries. And remember, the 27 through my Astro Alchemy right here is going to be tied to Aries. Okay? Scripted reality, ladies and gentlemen. Then we come down here to the bottom right and we look and see where his Venus and his Uranus is. The reason why I'm showing Venus is because Venus is in the 12th nakshatra, and the 12 3 times for this 144, which is tied to his name numerology. I mean, are you kidding me? It's the opposite of the 12th zodiac sign, whereas Black Moon Lilith is in that 27th nakshatra. Venus is the symbol of the Ankh, representing eternal life, eternity, which is what photons and the quantum realm is all about. Quantum entanglement, double slit experiment, the whole 9 yards. And then you have, obviously, the big takeaway is Uranus subtly playing out in the background in the 13th nakshatra in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is the 6th zodiac sign. And I'm going to show you how big the 6 is. In the 13th nakshatra, which is tied to the word Ankh right here. Whoops. 13. You see? Right there. Scripted reality, folks. Uranus. It's all right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going with this right here. Let's get into some tropical astrology. This is tropical nakshatra astrology, whatever the hell you want to call it. Tropical sidereal combined together. I had to take the nakshatras and overlay it onto the tropical. Remember, tropical moves the signs or the symbols or the celestials 23 to 24 degrees forwards into the future. But it doesn't matter because both of these systems have their own say in it. And this was obviously a very big humdinger in this decode of Scripted Reality 11 for Erwin here. So going back to the Sun and Rahu, okay, we know that they were in the ninth nakshatra Ashleisha. It puts Saturn and Mars there, but we move the Sun and Rahu 23, 24 degrees forward. It puts them in the 11th. This is why I decided to go with Scripted Reality 11, because it was pretty much a no-brainer. The 11, one wave, and the other wave. And what's so interesting is that they're both at 18 degrees. Both of these are at 18 degrees, folks. There it is. Bam! Right there in your face. Talking about waves. Christ is 18. Wave is 18. And across the way from the Sun and Rahu is his midheaven in the 24th nakshatra. And the spelling of the Christ in the Greek, where it originally came on the scene, Jesus in the Greek, 24. Now, it's not just that, folks, but look at what sign it's in. It's Aquarius. What is it? What does this look like? Does that not look like the two waves? Wave particle. This is what his theory was based on, the quantum theory, wave particles. Folks, this is so scripted, it is ridiculously in our face. If you take the letter W and you bring it into Chaldean, it becomes the number 6. We know it's the 23rd letter in the English. I'm going to get to that in a second. But in Chaldean, it's the number 6. Well, we come down to the 6th zodiac sign, and there's his Venus right there. Remember how big the Venus was, right? Tied to the Ankh, right next door to Uranus, and right across the way from the quantum 27 and Black Moon Lilith. That's why these systems, it doesn't matter which astrology system you use, you're going to find the truth. They're entangled together. These are literally two waves together as well. It's just so beautiful. The biggest takeaway of them all is through the tropical here, because see, Erwin was born on August 12th. It's the 224th day of the year. That's going to be one of the atomic masses or isotopes of radium. What is Ra? The sun. Okay, the sun and the 88. And it's tied to the sun right here, which obviously is continually pointing towards the Christ. And Ra being tied to Jesus, being tied to the sun, being tied to the Egyptian sun god, and being tied to the Jesus Christ superstar. It's pretty obvious that's what this whole thing's pointing to. And then here's that symbol of Psi, which in the modern Greek is the 23rd Greek letter. It's the 23rd letter in the English. There's the W, tied to Poseidon, tied to Neptune. Where's his Neptune at? Right here. Right there. And again, I can't say it's going to be in this house, but it is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the bull with two horns, the two waves. Taurus is ruled by what planet? Venus. So I would come back down to Venus, and there she is in the 6th sign of Virgo, and the letter W in Chaldean is the 6. See how beautiful this is, folks? This is a scripted reality. It doesn't matter what system you use, you'll find the answers. You'll find them, ladies and gentlemen. To finish this scripted reality number 11 up, I decided to look a little bit more in depth into Erwin's name. And we gave his birth certificate name. His last name is Schrodinger. This was his father's last name. But you go and you research the Bauer here, and I just want to take you on this journey with me here. Let's go to the wave particle and then Erwin, and you see you come down, and you can't always get this for everybody, but you come down here to the early years, and you'll see, here it is, his mother, Georgine Amelia Brenda Schrodinger, and the knee name, which is your mother's maiden name, is Bauer. How about Jack Bauer? You ever see that show called 24? 24? Jack Bauer, the great show. Man, what an amazing show. Long history. Jack Bauer, 24. And there it is. Jack is Jesus. Jack's the hero. Jack is the hero in our scripted reality, folks. We're Jack stuck in the box. That's why you see Jack all over the place. Jack is the letter J. Jesus is the letter J. You're starting to see the patterns here? We live inside of a movie. This guy was a movie star. Won the Nobel Prize. Pretty good script to play out. But here it is when you take his full birth certificate name. This was the humdinger of them all. And you add on his mother's maiden name, which was Light. Light is 16. Okay, 9 is 16, where you found all those pieces in the sidereal. It's 160. The word light is 16. It's pretty much a no-brainer. And this was the humdinger. You bring it into the golden ratio tied to the sun. 160 appears. This is including the 1 point now. Look at what digit it appears at. The 880th decimal digit. And then you just go to his birthday, August 12th. It's the 224th day of the year. And bam, there it is. It's tied to the sun, folks. The sun makes the electromagnetic waves. Has a big say in photosynthesis, the whole cycles of life. Photosynthesis, tied to the sun, tied to the Christ, tied to Lucifer, because Lucifer's the light bringer. They're all here, folks, all of them. And then just to finish this off, right, to show you this slide again, this was the song that was chosen for me, that I just said, hey, play some Scorpions, and it did, and this was the song it played. Remember that it's tied through the length of the song, through the minutes, Neptunium, and there's that psi symbol, right, Neptunium. There it is, from the Royal Society of Chemistry. And you just go right back up, and the wave starts with the letter W. Right there in the sign of Taurus. Taurus has 2 horns, 2 waves. You come to the sidereal. Here is Neptune. It moves into the 3rd nakshatra, which is tied to the diamagnetic pulse of light and the electromagnetic wave that chases behind it. That is the true essence of what light is all about. Diamagnetic pulse of light, electromagnetic wave that chases it. The Kundalini chasing the light. We live in the light game. That's what this whole reality is based on. Quantum physics, the light game, light particles, wave particles, etc., etc. This guy didn't have a choice. Scripted reality. He had a great screenplay. Not saying it was all cherry on top, but that was it. And you got to make beauty out of this, folks. Instead of bitching and complaining, you got to be the superstar in this reality. So there it was. I didn't choose this song. Come on. So I mean, do you think it's a Jesuit or Mason controlling me? You think it's some group of individuals controlling my mind as I sit here and decode? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for scripted reality number 11. I'm going to continue to pump these videos out. I hope that you continue to decode yourself, to see that you live in a scripted reality, and to figure out, the most important thing you can do is decode who you are and why you're here, so you can level up. Know what your code is. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. Focus on your strengths. Manage your weaknesses. That was from the great late Bob Proctor. Focus on your strengths. Manage your weaknesses. Okay, so I'd love to hear what you saw, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your comments coming. It's all about love here, though, so keep it cordial, right? That's it. Love to hear what you saw. Keep your comments coming. That's all I got for today. My name is Logan, Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.